Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Devvon in raw form, and welcome to another Help Me Devvon raw tutorial. And today, in this Help Me Devvon raw tutorial, we'll be talking about the one compressor you should be using, the multi-band compressor. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying that you should be solely using this, but I've noticed in the comments and what you guys have been saying that a lot of people kind of stray away from the multi-band and don't really understand the power that this thing truly has. So let's figure this out. After watching this video, you'll have a way better understanding of what the multi-band compressor does, and you'll be less intimidated by its parameters and factors that it has. Let's get to it. Okay, so first thing first, let's play the vocal that we have here right now. Listen closely. It's one of my own vocals.
You believe what they say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna hit and I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just trying to get rid of competition? Forget them hitters, forget them rumors. They can never win it, we just ignoring. They mad that a young hitter scoring on your court.
Okay, so you hear the vocal. It has a little bit of EQ on it. That's it. The only thing that has on it is a little bit of EQ. There's no compression or anything else. Just a tad bit of EQ just to clean up some of the low end and things of that nature. Now, before we go any further, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you guys to comment, like, subscribe. Also, make sure you go to helpmedevvon.info at any time to get some of our templates, presets, all kinds of really dope goodies to keep this channel going. Now back to the tutorial. So, when it comes to a multi-band compressor, a lot of the times, what I'm thinking mentally is, I'm trying to control problems. Now, there's an adverse way to use a multi-band when you're trying to boost and add certain things. But for right now, in reference of this video, I'm going to show you in a way of basically fixing, how I use a multi-band compressor in the style of fixing. I'll show you how I like to boost after. So, what you'll realize is, let's use one of the most common multi-band compressors that I'm sure a lot of us have and probably have never even used. The C4 from Waves, okay? I'll leave the description for this, I'll leave the link for this in the bio as well. So right here you see 4 bands. And when I say bands, I'm talking about 4 different frequency ranges. So you see a frequency range or band of 93 hertz, 1076 hertz, 5458 hertz, and then everything above 5458 hertz. So this is 4 different bands. So I have it already affecting 4 different bands in these places. Now, when you see these 4 different bands, this is why I'm going to break it down in the easiest way possible. What you are seeing is a de-esser 4 times. What do I mean when I say you're looking at a de-esser 4 times? Check this out. Let's come on over to this de-esser, and I want you to take a look at it. Does it look familiar? Yes, it looks like a multi-band. That's because it is basically, in a nutshell, a very simplified version of a multi-band. What the de-esser allows you to do is, it allows you to focus in on a singular frequency range and attenuate it or compress it. That is literally what a multi-band compressor is multiple times. It is a compressor that affects different frequency bands at different types of parameters. Stay with me. Okay. So now let's take a look at the C4, right? And let's listen to this vocal one more time. And I'm going to point something out to you as I'm listening to it.
You believe what they say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna hit and I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just trying to get rid of...
Okay, so you listen to that and you notice it's very S-y, right? There's a lot of S's and it's a lot of sibilants on that vocal. Now, let's try to attack this problem with a multi-band compressor. So let's focus in on this strip right here. See this band right here? Everything above 5458, we're going to affect. So check this out just to get this a little bit more solid in your mind. I'm going to solo this. Listen close. So that's pretty harsh. That's a lot of sibilants up there. The multi-band allowed us to hone in on that, solo it, and just hear everything above 5458 and above. So what we're going to do is, this knob right here is the threshold. Now I want to put you in a compression state. Don't look at anything else but this one strip right here. We're going to compress this. And when we do that, this button right here, or this fader right here, is the threshold. What the threshold does is basically you telling it, hey, anything above this, compress. That's the threshold. We obviously know what that is in reference to a compressor. It's literally that. Check this out. So obvious, as much, the more that I pull down the compressor, the more compression is actually happening. So this knob right here is the threshold, okay? Now let's move on over to the actual numbers that you're seeing. You're seeing a gain. Basically, the gain is you boosting this up. That's self-explanatory. That's you being able to do a one frequency band and boost that one frequency band up. So pay attention to that and just know that it's that super simple. Don't need to go in depth about that. Next one is range. Now, what is the range on a multi-band compressor? Basically, what the range is that when you decide to actually add compression, or when you're bringing this threshold knob down, right? Basically, the range is you telling the multiband, this is the most I want you to compress this particular frequency range. So basically, it's how low or how much compression do you want it to do. So when you have it at -8, you're basically saying, hey, at your hardest threshold, at the most compression, I want you to do 8 dB of compression. So you actually have a chance to physically tell the compression, this is the most I want you to compress in reference of dB. So -8 on the range is basically telling the multiband compressor, the most I want you to compress is 8 dB as far as attenuation, bringing it down 8 dB. So pay attention to this right quick. So I have the range at -8. I'm gonna start to boost it up, which means when I boost up the range, it's gonna say, I want you to only attenuate 3 dB at its most, no matter where that threshold is. So check this out. So you see, with the range, you are actually able to physically dictate how much how much dB you actually want to attenuate the actual sound. And that's so powerful. And that's why I always tell people, yo, the multi-band compressor is probably one of the most powerful and most versatile types of compression that you could possibly use to really dial in and hone in on very specific things. So you got that. That is the range in a nutshell. Let's move on over to the next thing. The next thing is the attack, right? Long story short, with the attack is, it's like a compressor, right? This is a compressor. All the attack is saying, how fast or how soon do you want me to attenuate this sound? What I'm saying is, the faster the attack, the quicker it's going to grab those transients. So basically, the faster you have it, the tighter that sound is going to be. The slower you have the attack, the more open sounding it's going to sound, because it's not going to grab those transients as fast. Let's experiment. So you see, when I put it to its fastest setting, it feels tighter and it's grabbing those transients a lot sooner. When I have it slower, it sounds a lot more open and it's not grabbing those transients as much. So you use this to taste to kind of find that balance. That's the attack on the multi-band compressor. Moving on. Next thing is the release. Now, when it comes to the release, it's like a compressor. It is a compressor. The release is basically you telling the multi-band, hey, this is how soon I want you to release the compression. So the faster the attack, the faster the release, the faster it releases the compression. The slower the release, the longer it'll hold the actual sound. Let's experiment. Let's see what that sounds like. Just to get your ears ready, basically when you have a faster release, it's going to sound more open. It's going to sound more punchy. It's going to seem like it jumps out a lot more. The slower the release is, it's going to sound tighter, smoother. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it. Let's experiment and let's see what it sounds like. So let's go to the fastest release first, and then we'll go up. So you notice when I have the release at its slowest setting, it feels a lot tighter, it feels smoother, and it feels like it's just holding the compression longer and just really holding that vocal. When you have it on its fastest release, you'll notice that it sounds more open, it sounds more punchy, more animated, more jumpy. Find the sweet spot that feels right for your vocal and use that to your advantage. Got it? Okay. So long story short, I showed you in one parameter what the multiband is doing. Literally, this is the same thing copied 4 times, you guys. Don't be intimidated by this multi-band compressor. Let's just jump on over to the other band and let's see what that sounds like by itself. So solo this, listen closely to this.
You believe what they say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna hit and I don't wanna know you.
So long story short, this band, particular band that we moved on over to, is from 1076 to 5458. It's in between that band. That is exactly what we're hearing. Now what we could do is we could say, hey, multi-band compressor, I only want you to take out maybe -5 as far as dB. I want you to take out only 5 dB on my compression, and let's see what that sounds like. And then we'll try to find our settings that feel right within that. Let's do it.
You believe what they say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna hit and I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just trying to get rid of competition? Forget them hitters, forget them rumors. They can never win it, we just ignoring. They mad that a young hitter scoring on your court.
Okay, so the compression as far as the multiband is grabbing those transients. I hear it. Now, it's a little bit tight. Let's slow down the release, let's slow down the attack so that we can find a nice spot where it feels a lot better, feels a little bit more natural. Let's do it.
You believe what they say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna hit and I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just trying to get rid of competition? Forget them hitters, forget them rumors. They can never win it, we just ignoring. They mad that a young hitter scoring on your court. I'm an all-star, homie, you a ball boy. I don't mean that sound for...
Okay, I like it. I found that with the attack a little slowed down, it felt like the transients were still cutting through a bit, and I liked how controlled it still was. Now I know what you're saying. We lost some volume in that particular band. Well, this is where the gain knob would come in. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to match the volume of what we lost previously. Watch this.
You believe what they say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna hit and I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just trying to get rid of competition? Forget them hitters, forget them rumors. They can never win it, we just ignoring. They mad that a young hitter scoring on your court. I'm an all-star, homie, you a ball boy. I don't mean that sound facetious, but they need Jesus. All up in our business, so you know they need it.
Sounds a lot more controlled, but we got the same, basically we're reaching about the same amount of volume that we had before. So now let's listen to the vocal in its entirety right quick, just by basically attacking that one band. Does it sound different? Let's check it out. So let's unsolo this. Let's bypass and let's take this out for now. Or actually, yeah, let's take this out for now. Let's bypass this. Just because we don't know, I just want to show you just this one band and what it did. So without first, and then I'll bypass it back and forth. This is just with that in-between band that I just did. Without first.
You believe what they say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna hit and I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just trying to get rid of competition? Forget them hitters, forget them rumors. They can never win it, we just ignoring. They mad that a young hitter scoring on your court. I'm an all-star, homie, you a ball boy.
That sounds, to my ears, so much better. It sounds more controlled. It sounds more exciting. It sounds brighter. It sounds more clear. And that's why I tell people all the time, multi-band compression can really help you shape and get the right tone out of your vocal. By compressing, instead of compressing the entire vocal, you can literally hone in on specific frequency ranges and make corrections and find those problems and pay more attention to those issues and attack them, as opposed to trying to attack the entire vocal in all of its sonics in totality. So this is why I find that multi-band compression is so powerful and something that I feel like a lot of people should be using. If you feel like you have a vocal that is too harsh, use a multi-band compressor. Hone in to that frequency range. And with the multi-band compressor, you can literally sweep and find it and say, right there's a lot in this frequency range, and then attack it. Decide to add multi-band compression to that one frequency range and attenuate it and give it some more volume back. And voila, you have a much better and more controlled vocal without affecting your warmth or your brightness or any of the other tonalities that you actually fall in love with. And then you get an overall better sounding vocal. So that was my tutorial on multi-band compression and why you should be using it. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you follow us at Help Me Devvon on the Instagram. Also, make sure you head on over to helpmedevvon.info to get some of our templates, goodies, and to keep this channel going. Make sure you also follow us and join our Discord community with a lot of engineers and aspiring, mixing and mastering guys and girls just like yourself. And once again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave a comment below. I'm always in them looking for new tutorials and new stuff to expose to you guys. So that was my tutorial. And until next time, guys.